We can just suffer together.
Yes.
Yeah, just suffering through this, just trying to make our ways, just trying to figure out.
I mean, that's what we had to do for like a straight year.
I mean, but like, we were in college.
Mm-hmm.
So we had weekly things to talk about our college life.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're a working man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just the ladies' man. So like, there's not a whole lot to talk about. But anyway, hello everyone. This is JPL, and today I'm joined with
Christopher.
Yes, we're a podcast named In Brackets.
In brackets.
So yeah, this week is gonna be interesting.
Yes.
Interesting in that I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Yes, it's gonna be just like I was saying. It's just like old times, but you were telling me that it's not going to be like old times. So we will see what kind of times this will be.
Yeah, I mean, at least you were more energetic today than you were last week. So
was I tired last week? I forgot.
You were just tired.
Oh,
You had no emotion on you.
Oh.
I was like happy to talk about things. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a moody boy.
Especially at nighttime, you're a moody boy.
Is it especially at nighttime?
Oh yeah, especially when we're recording late at night, because we were recording late at night.
What happened last Monday that would made me so tired?
I work? No.
No, I don't have work on Mondays. That's the thing. If it was a normal work day, yeah, I would get that. But, okay.
Something.
I'm a dumb, moody boy.
But like the big thing of last week was that I was watching the DC Animated Movie Universes, which was 15 movies, because HBO Max was a thing. And I just breezed through that whole thing without talking about it.
Oh, so you're like, okay, let's talk about it.
It's like, sure.
Or more like, I'll talk about it while Christopher listens.
Right. And then it's like, he's not going to be interesting. He's just tired and stuff. We might talk a bit about it.
Keyword might.
Might. Yeah. Anyway, how are you doing today, Christopher?
Not too bad. I do have a small headache, so I just popped the pill, so hopefully that'll help.
Popping pills. My goodness.
Pills.
That's why I need your credit card. Because you're popping pills.
So you want some of my drugs, huh?
Who's to say?
I do have a few things I need to do today, and because tomorrow we have like a work event, so today I have some things I need to do that I haven't really gotten to yet. Rip. So I'm not doing too bad. Not like necessarily stressed, but there's things I need to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of just one of those days.
Yeah, for me, next Monday we start classes again.
You're still in school, John? So this is your last year, right?
Still in school. This is my last year.
Last year.
Yeah. Which is the thing.
How many credits are you taking this semester?
This semester, 12.
12.
Good schedule. Generally good schedule. But yeah, no, this Friday I have a theater interview. It's required, like every semester you interview for production.
Oh, like, it's required. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but like, I hate this. I hate it, really. Because now that I'm working sound full time, it's like so redundant for me to show up and tell them, "Hey,
interview me," even though you've already hired me.
I mean, it's like I get it, but still.
Do you get it, John? Do you get it?
I get it. Okay. I get it. They want to teach us, get us more experience doing the interviews, but still, like, they know me. They know I work with them. It's like I show up and say, "Hey, I'm doing this.
At this point, it's an informal formality?
It's redundant, is what it is.
Like, or is it a formal informality?
They'll still ask me, like, questions like, oh, what are you going to do at the end of the year? I'm like, I don't know. How was your summer? Did you do theater stuff? They always ask that, by the way, which is, like, awkward, because I don't. But I actually did this summer, so, good for me.
Good for you.
But still, I'm tired.
You could say you visited Sight and Sound Theater.
I am going to say that.
Oh, okay.
I need to give them something.
You have content this year.
I have content this year. I both went to Branson and
the land of
the camps.
Branson, the land of theater.
So, which leads me to something I was watching past week.
Okay.
So one of the DC movies, you have a team of these characters, and they travel to Branson, Missouri.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, they travel to Branson to a male strip club. Which is why I asked you the other day, is there a male strip club in Branson?
I think the first club of Branson opened last or this year. We're behind. Branson has, I feel like, always kind of been like a family-friendly hub of sorts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that, everything is that squeaky clean, and it does appeal to a certain demographic. However, we have bars, but apparently, our first club, or at least we only have one operating club at this point. We don't have a proper nightlife here. Everything closes at 10, and we get off work 10:30. So it's like the only place to eat out is Taco Bell, and we can't do that often. Branson sucks at nightlife, and not necessarily that I want to have a nightlife. It's just I have no options at night.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, most days I would probably just go home anyways. But it's like, oh, you want to do something? Yeah. What can we do? Oh, they're closed. Most places are closed by 9 or 10. There's a few places that might stretch to 11. There's a Taco Bell that's open till 2. But yeah, not that I'm aware of. That's hilarious. When was that released?
2018.
Oh my gosh.
But no, they go to Branson, but it looked nothing like Branson. I was shocked, and of course they're just choosing locations to say they go to a location. But they didn't do their homework because the male strip club just didn't really fit the Branson life.
Yeah, I am now Googling.
I did Google. You can get male strippers.
It seems like you can
for your parties, but there's no club.
Because I guess that's the thing. When I lived in California, or honestly other places I can't think of off the top of my head, but I remember seeing night clubs or whatever. But it seems like these are more you have to hire out people. From the little research I'm doing, yeah, we don't have a club, and even that one club, I have no idea where it's. I might have an idea where it's located, but yeah, we don't have.
There's one in Springfield, but
I would believe that. Springfield, that's a normal of a place. You know what I mean? For there to be clubs. Yeah. Even though I don't know much about Springfield at all, I just
that was something that happened.
You loved Springfield so much. John was like, "Why can't we stay here? Why can't you just move to Springfield with Ditch Branson?" Yeah, it's not what John said.
I don't remember that, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
To get the scoot out of.
I really did. As soon as we got there, I'm like, nope. I don't like this place.
Yeah, maybe if Springfield actually has Mr. Beast burgers, maybe you'd be more inclined to stick around. But since they doesn't really seem like they
if
do.
they opened when they said they would,
Yeah. Maybe.
And had parking.
So what's crazy is that I started going to a vinyl, like a record store, and it's near that location. It's like on that same street, like. So ideally, if I go to that record store, I could ideally go and see if it's open, but I don't want it because like it seems it's not even like a functioning entity. You know what I mean? It seems like it's functioning out of something else if it truly exists.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So weird. Anyway, also, I sent you a bunch of screenshots.
Let me pull this up because I don't remember.
Discord.
Crud Muffin.
It's the YouTube thing of Made for Kids.
Oh, that.
Anything animation related is automatically made for kids.
So this made me think about what you were talking about, like with the Oscars, and I think it was the Oscars and their comment about animation, and kind of like putting those two things together, like, oh, that's just how the industry looks at these things, and it's almost like we need. I was kind of seriously but jokingly, but seriously and joking. He said it's like we need another Sausage Party movie. Be like, animation isn't only for kids. Now, not necessarily I want there to be another Sausage Party movie, but the point is, not all animation is for kids. And it's a little crazy that something like that, or even just the already plethora of adult animated TV shows isn't showing, the general population.
It's in a rise recently.
It's what?
I mean, it's in the rise recently to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
My cat's at the door. Now she doesn't want inside. Thank you. I love you so much. But no, YouTube is just lying to their content creators by saying, we made your video made for kids. We manually viewed it when they clearly hadn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that is ridiculous. And I mean, you could argue it's a disservice to the creators, but it's more of a disservice to the people who use YouTube.
See,
especially the kids and parents.
That they've not been sued yet. That parents are be like, hey, what's this doing here?
Maybe it's money's the big issue. Maybe
there's got to be like petitions going on, but still, like you have one where clearly the message is suicide and Squidward with a hangman's rope. You got another one that has ponies, but like there's cursing in the actual video, text as well. You got a YTP, which YTPs are not for kids in general. Those are YouTube poops. And of course, the thumbnail has the N-word in it. So, funny. You have this scene from Under the Red Hood. It's a Batman and the animated movie. Very dark. It's got some blood in it. For kids. And lastly, you have this anime thing. And the thumbnail is just this naked chick shot in the head, laying dead in a pool of blood. Like the thumbnail is not blacked out. I did that blackout myself when I sent it to you. So, like they're gonna be in trouble.
They should be in trouble, but they're
going to be in trouble. I also wrote that there's literally porn made for kids because it's animated. It's not censored as well. So
it's so weird how YouTube censors the weirdest things and then lets free these things. You know what I mean?
What's also weird is that the specific one that I'm thinking of had apparently been on the platform for 8 years and never been taken down.
Wow!
Even though it's fully against YouTube's rules of content, and it's made for kids because it was animated. Imagine the poor parents just walking in on their kids.
Yeah.
On YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
Like, a lawsuit's coming.
It needs to come sooner.
Sooner, really. Because, like, each day more screenshots happen. There's one content creator that's just been targeted so hard. Like, by making all his videos made for kids. Even, like, update videos that have nothing in it is being made for kids. Like, he's clearly being targeted by just some kind of, not a person of YouTube, but like someone who doesn't like him very much. Reports him as like, this stuff is made for kids because I hate you. And then they do that.
Honestly, not cool.
Sure. So what did you think when I sent you that message about the strip club?
I guess my first thought was, weren't you in Branson? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you hadn't come to Branson, I would kind of think, oh, you know, I mean, yeah, I guess if you hadn't come to Branson, I would be more like, why? But because you had come to Branson, I'm like, you should know.
Right.
Yeah. So if you hadn't, so I guess
you weren't be more concerned that I just sent you a message asking you if there was a male strip club.
If you hadn't come to Branson, I'd be concerned. Yes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I get the logic, but still.
Yeah,
either way, you should be asking why.
I mean, you first off, you're an interesting person in the first place, and so you usually have a reason for your interesting things in the first place.
I'm glad you're noticing that. Thank you.
So, especially that I front-loaded it with that question, I was able to logically come to that conclusion. If you hadn't come to Branson, I probably wouldn't have come to that conclusion.
Right. I gave you no context for that either.
You gave me no context, and you said, I'll tell you later, when you could have typed it up in 10 seconds.
I could, but I just wanted you to think about it for however long.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I know John will tell me.
I get questions like, is John going through a phase? Like, what's going on?
I had a feeling you wouldn't be going through that kind of phase. Because if you were like, do you know of any male strip clubs in Lynchburg, then I think you'd be going through a phase.
I don't know if I'd ask you about that.
Exactly, I live in Lynchburg. But what I'm saying is, if you asked about Branson, then that either insinuates you're coming back, or you're weird, or whatever. But if you're talking about Lynchburg, then I would have more of a reason to think that you're going through a phase.
Well, yeah.
Or maybe a girlfriend you have that I don't know about is going through a phase.
Yeah, I just want to indulge them. It's like, yeah, there, have fun. I'll be sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
I'll bring a bag of Doritos. Have some fun. Do you need any ones? And I've been going through a phase.
Oh, okay, John. You want to indulge?
No. Like I've been getting funnier.
Oh, are you?
With my jokes? I have.
Oh.
I think I have at least.
Okay. Am I like your gauge? Is that what it is?
No, I'm just trying more.
Oh,
yeah, because today I was recording for Barbie, and oh, that's what that was. Yeah, today I was recording for Barbie, and I was making jokes. And there you go. That's that.
Okay.
I remembered a quote that I was supposed to write down about think it was like after talking to you. Yeah, it was after the podcast last week. I had said, all right, I gotta go now and watch Barbie and take notes. Or something like that. I don't remember. But I have to write that down because that's a fun quote.
I have a Would You Rather for you. So
oh my goodness, I love that game.
You really do?
I do love Would You Rather.
Okay. Because I don't know if you remember at work, but we have Would You Rathers for each show.
Right.
And so this is one I got from work that I'm slightly adjusting for you. Would you rather be able to communicate with cats or none of the objects you own ever get broken?
So would I rather be able to communicate with cats
or none of your things ever break?
None of my things ever break. Oh my gosh, that would be so helpful if none of my things could ever break. Like, I'm fine with cats. Like, I don't need to hear what they're saying.
Really? Okay.
Because what they'll tell me is, feed me, pet me, don't touch me.
But what if you could start to actually talk to them and actually start to build a deeper relationship with them?
Because then you have to get into the idea that cats are sentient, and thus can form these types of thoughts and opinions.
They might already have.
I highly doubt it, but
imagine who they could have voted for in the 2020 election, John. They could have, put Kanye in office if the cats were able to vote, John.
See, you never know. I don't think they care about Kanye, to be honest.
You never know, John. You've never talked to a cat. You don't know.
I mean, I talk to them all the time. They just don't reply.
Okay, that's the thing. You never let the cats reply to you. You never try to seek what they're trying to tell you, John.
Well, now you're just being too personal now.
Anyways, so you would actually go with the objects?
I would go with the objects.
Okay, so the original Would You Rather was dogs, not cats. So I changed it to cats because you're more of a cat person.
I would clearly choose the objects then.
Yeah.
Objects wise, it'd be really helpful because especially my Lego sets, they age.
Most people were thinking they're cars.
Well, yeah, cars are good too.
Of course, John.
I mean, yeah, cars are good too. Actually, I would love that. Just keep the same car.
Do you know what I thought? My first thought? My wife.
See, now you got me worried. Do I need to worry about your relationships? Like,
I don't know, John. I don't know, John.
What kind of man are you with a woman
lately?
Would you are you harmful? What kind of person are you?
No. I'm just like, they get old too, just like your Lego sets.
I'm sure they do. They do very much get old, like my Lego sets. But no, my specific ones. Bionicle. Those parts, a lot of parts break all the time, which is sad, and you can't replace them. So, that's the big one. Like, every Bionicle fan has this issue with stuff breaking. It's pretty sad.
Do you think Lego will ever bring Bionicle back?
Yeah, probably eventually. But I think if they do, they're gonna make it more of like a Lego set than an actual Technic.
Interesting.
Because that'd be a logical step to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, like, really, because they did try and bring it back, and they did a good job with sets. But again, story is important. and like they didn't care at all about story, so like their sets were just there, and like there wasn't really much meaning being philosophical about sets. Let's see. There was a website where you could play Would You Rather. What website was it?
Oh, that'd make for a fun podcast. Let's do that.
I mean, I'm gonna find it.
Okay. Quick question. A friend mentioned the Lego Ninjago movie. Is that good from what you've seen or haven't seen?
I have not seen the Lego Ninjago movie.
Okay.
From my understanding, it wasn't very good.
Okay. Do you want to just run through the things you've watched this week before we get to the Would You Rathers?
Things I've watched this week.
Yes.
Okay, for this week specifically.
And I'm just gonna get mine out of the way. I watched the I Am Groot shorts. They're cute.
I did too.
Yeah, they're cute for what they are.
I was pleasantly surprised about the cuteness and how funny they were at times.
Yeah. My main issue is the fact that Disney Plus had to make them 5 individual shorts instead of a series.
I saw that, and I was like, Christopher's gonna have a fit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go on to a full blown fit here, but gosh, I don't understand. Like the only thing I can think about, because they fit them into their MCU timeline thing, which James Gunn is saying it's not part of this universe. He said it's Universe 314 Pi. But that's the only reason I can think of. But if that's the only reason, that's a dumb reason.
Yeah, because the timeline can be a bit confusing, because you're just focused on Groot, and you have to question when were they there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first one with First Steps, that makes sense.
Yeah,
kind of.
Well, what they're saying is 2 through 5 happened after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Would you? I'm still gonna stick with they're all before Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I can believe that being all after 2.
Just my thing is the end credit scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, as we start to see Team Groot.
Right, but like there's still.
I understand the core, but still.
No, but still, like there's still that time frame in between.
In between 1 and 2.
Because like in the movie, he doesn't immediately grow into Teen Groot. There's still a little bit of time.
Right.
So we don't know what that time was filled with.
And again, just the fact that James Gunn said this is not this is not meant to be canon material. So I was a little. I don't understand who's working at Disney Plus.
So it's about the same level as What If is.
Yeah, just multiversal content, except the fact that they actually have the potential to bring What If into the MCU.
Right. So and one thing about I Am Groot is that everything is CGI. Nothing was filmed on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it easier for them to make it look all nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to say.
It looked really good.
Yeah. Movies. I watched 10 movies.
Oh, if we're talking about I Am Groot so much, okay. So, what was your favorite short and least favorite?
Oh, shorts. What's my favorite short? Not gonna look at this.
Or if you don't have a favorite short, like favorite moment.
Favorite moment. I mean, obviously, just my favorite moments are like when they have surprise dark comedy. So when Groot steps on the little people. That was funny. When Groot just shoves that guy out of the airlock. When he takes that rat's tail for a scarf.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty funny.
Like, those are funny.
Yeah.
What's my favorite short?
That's honestly thinking about that's hard.
It is hard because they're all small.
Yeah.
They're all short, so it's. My favorite one could probably be the little guy with the small people.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's a lot of funny stuff in it. My least favorite is probably. Probably Groot's Pursuit.
I will agree with that. I just didn't like
the dance thing is funny to watch, entertaining to watch, but like it's just kind of there.
I don't like that water character. Just like if anything, that could have been a little more. I know the point of these aren't deep stories, but if anything, that could have been a little more developed. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just felt too weird for its short context.
Yeah.
And as soon as it starts talking, it was not that I was like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, it's weird. But for the context of this, I'm like, this is weird.
For the context of this.
But then his little defiant scoots him out. He's just like, I am Groot. That was a beautiful moment.
That was a beautiful moment. So going back to what I watched, I have right now one more week of HBO Max, so I'm continuing just to watch some different DC animated movies. Not as much as I did the week before by watching 4 a day. Here I'm just like 1 a day, maybe 2 if I feel like it.
I have a question about DC animated.
Answer.
The Harley Quinn show?
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
I have.
You like it?
I don't.
You don't. Okay.
I mean, like,
I know it exists. That's why
there are funny aspects to it, but like, it's clearly just made to be adult funny.
Gotcha.
And like, again, Harley Quinn is one of those characters that I've only ever liked a portrayal from the original version and like their next couple versions, but anything within the past 10, 15 years, I've not liked that portrayal of Harley Quinn.
Okay.
So.
Copy. All right. Continue.
Yeah. So like so one of them was a movie called Justice League Doom, which is one of my favorites. Batman has plans to take down every member of the Justice League in case they ever go rogue or go bad. But those plans get stolen by the bad guys, and they happen to everyone, and it's so cool and logical and emotional, and I dig it. And like this movie idea was originally supposed to be like an episode of the classic TV show Justice League, but they instead turned it into a movie.
That sounds like a really good concept.
It's a really cool concept. Let's see. Moving past Superman versus the Elite. It's the idea of every superhero, at least most of the good ones, have that moral code of I won't kill for what it's watch and watch. This one gives like a good example because you have two superheroes in this movie. Superman, who's the good, and then this other team of heroes that will kill. And we have a moment in this film where Superman puts on a performance where he snaps and it's like, all right, I get what you're selling me. I'm going to start killing. And he goes psycho crazy. And he does this to like show them a lesson of just how horrifying it actually is. And it's done really well. Okay, another thing I saw was Batman Gotham Knight, which is think Star Wars Vision slip for Batman. So different anime studios did different little Batman stories. Okay. And they're really cool. I liked it. I like it. Another movie was Superman Red Sun, which is it's like a what if story where what if Superman and Batman were raised in Soviet Russia.
Okay.
It's a really neat idea. A lot of these animated movies are based off of comic books, so it's cool to have those explored. And the last like DC movie I saw was Batman Ninja, which is another anime Batman movie, but a not very good one. Where it starts off interesting, but then they just don't do anything with that interesting.
Hmm.
And the thing ends because Batman gets sent back in time into feudal Japan with his villains.
Mm-hmm.
So the final battle is him versus his villains, but all his villains are in this giant mecha robot, and Batman forms a giant Batman out of millions of monkeys and bats in feudal Japan. Makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even make sense in the film. And then that's like the main highlights of what I saw this week.
Okay.
I saw all this stuff, but like they're not much I can say. Yeah, so would you rather?
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
So I'll be honest, many of the would you rathers at work I don't really answer because like they're almost like so outlandish, you know what I mean? So it's just like I don't have to answer, you know what I mean? But now if we're doing this for this podcast, now I have to.
Right. So here's this website that most people had used called Either.
I've never heard of it.
Right, but like it's outdated. I mean, 2016 was like the prime years for this site. But yeah, so would you rather burn to death or drown? That's a toughie.
I know like 7 years ago I would have said burn to death.
But like after watching Anakin,
no, that wasn't. Before that, I probably would have
entire
switched to
skin
drown.
and nervous system being so, like hot, on fire, peeling off, melting. You're still alive to feel it versus.
Well, no, like
liquid.
If you're burned for long enough, it kills all your nerves. So you could still burn to death without.
But you're awake longer.
Yeah. I think though that there is a certain like fear as it relates to the drowning as you're flailing and trying to save yourself, as you can't do anything about it. While being, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the drowning as much as I freaking hate that.
Either way, you're dead.
I hate those would you rather so much. What do you choose, John?
I mean, I go drowning as well. Okay.
My God.
Oh my gosh.
What the frick?
Would you rather be waterboarded to death or be electrocuted to death?
Electrocuted. I mean, I don't know what waterboarded is at the top of my head, but honestly...
Waterboarded is when they put a hood over your head and pour water on you.
I would do electrocution because I feel like that'd be faster.
Yeah. Prisons do it, so...
Yeah.
It's gotta work for them.
If it works for them, it works for me. What do you choose, John?
I guess electrocuted. They're both not fun. But would you rather be on jury duty or go to work?
Do I get paid for jury duty?
No.
So I'd rather go to work.
Yeah, I guess with that logic. Who wants... Yeah.
There was one thing there was one case I was potentially going to be part of, but because I was a witness and I eventually didn't do it because I was too far away, because it happened in Maryland, where I was at the time, and now I'm in Missouri, and they're like, yeah, you're excused. So that's different, but that wasn't, quote, jury duty. Yeah, if I'm not... You know what? Someone... I was watching a TikTok, and someone was complaining about the jury duty thing. He's like, so then what's the point of all these lawyers spending 13 years in college, and then you just pull random people off the street, read the law to them once, and assume they can make a right decision? Like, dang.
All right, so let's assume that you're being paid for this as well. For jury duty.
Okay, how much am I being paid? That also is a factor.
Let's say the same amount as your work. And they pay for meals.
But also, what kind of meals?
I mean, that's... I don't know.
It could be hospital food. I wouldn't want that.
Right. I'd probably say go to work as well.
Yeah, it's like
it's
I
the
know how to
idea
do
of
my
like
work.
having to make the emotional judgment of is this person guilty or not.
Yeah, I guess for me it's like that. I have to switch my complete mindset for one freaking day, and it's like I'd rather just go. As much as sometimes I wish there, as much as the monotony of work is hard, I'd rather just do that.
Okay, here's the description. Being on jury duty means that you end up sitting in a room all day and may or may not get assigned to a case.
You. No.
Okay.
I mean, like, unless I can bring my computer and do crap, but still I'm not getting paid. So, no.
Man, these people, they're weird.
Oh, we got another weird one?
Would you rather have all the phobias known to mankind or have to slowly skin your family and pets alive?
What the hell?
I know.
I'm sorry. Why?
The humane thing is to have the phobias.
Yeah.
But
Well,
then
I
I'll
have
be
a
afraid all the
gore.
time.
I have a gore fear in the first place, so I couldn't do that. It's hard enough to watch it. It's another thing to do it.
Yes. I mean, you'd be dead with all those phobias.
I would be. I'd rather do that.
You'd be so stressed out that you just die of stress.
I'd rather do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, John. Do we need to find a different website?
No. No, I use this. Anyway, would you rather have a runny nose constantly or constantly have Cheeto cheese-covered fingers?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You also no tissues and no gloves.
Cheetah fingers.
Yeah, probably. You can lick them.
I could lick them, yeah. And I feel like that's a more controlled messiness.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 split, by the way.
Really?
By the major audience.
Really?
Cheetos is like a slight edge by like a couple thousand.
You'd rather your shirt be dripping?
Yeah.
Or
I'm thinking people are not reading the description of no tissues and no gloves.
I mean, like, I kind of assumed that was already the case.
Right. Still. Okay. Would you rather be a cat or be a dog?
This I have to think about.
Hmm.
Is there a description about this?
Okay. Let's read. Assuming you're in well cared for environment, equal treatment as such.
Mm-hmm.
In a well cared environment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well cared. I mean,
I'm gonna go with the cat.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
dogs have too many needs. Cats, you just feed them and you just let them be.
Cats do what they want, so that's what I want.
Dogs have to be like walked every 2 hours.
Right. Cats are just by themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you are well cared for, I want my alone time, so I'll be a cat.
I don't know what this means.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather be able to only speak in LOL speak? What does this mean? Is there like a... Alright, I'm looking up the dictionary. Or be able to only type in 1337 speak. So LOL speak is an extremely complicated language that is often mistaken for text speak. Oh, okay, so it's like shorthand.
Mm-hmm.
Texting. Or 1337 is like, I think you use numbers to speak. Leet, yeah.
I'd go with shorthand.
I mean, I already speak shorthand, so
I think there's because then you'll be able to communicate with other shorthand people. The issue is with me, I type a lot as is, so to only be able to type in numbers would be so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'd rather just adapt a completely different language.
Completely different language. Here's a fun one. Would you rather play dodgeball or play Foursquare?
Dodgeball?
Dodgeball, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a moment since I played Foursquare.
I don't remember.
No, I played both Foursquare and Dodgeball at camp last year. But
I just threw the ball at people.
Yeah. I'm not great at dodgeball. At any means, I have terrible aim. I can't hold those balls right. But I just like existing on the field.
No, I get you. Although I think I just play Foursquare. It's peaceful.
Foursquare is peaceful. Yeah.
Yeah. No one's trying to throw hard things of rubber on you.
No one's trying to kill you.
Would you rather be a contestant on Wheel of Fortune or be a contestant on Jeopardy?
I'm gonna be straight up honest. I don't know how either show works. Is Wheel of Fortune the big words?
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune is the big words. You spin a wheel, to give you an amount, and if you're not bankrupt, then you can say is there this letter, and this, and then you try to find the word. Jeopardy is they give you the answer of something, and you have to come up with the question.
See, so that's the thing that's always tripped me up about Jeopardy, is because it's backwards like that. It's always confused me. A little bit I've seen here and there, you know what I mean? It's always been so mentally trippy for me. I could never wrap my head around it. Even though I kind of understood the concept, but I've definitely not seen enough for me to understand the concept. So I just always would mentally completely avoid it.
I mean, I always enjoy watching Jeopardy, but I think Wheel of Fortune is a much simpler game to play.
Yeah, I would rather do that. As much as I really don't care about either, then I go Wheel of Fortune.
I love both. I like watching both.
Next time you come out here,
let's watch some Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Romeo and Juliet?
What? I mean, I read it and then we'll have an answer.
Would you rather be a Montague or a Capulet?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Romeo and Juliet.
Okay. I mean, they're both equal, honestly. They're both rival each other. One's Romeo's family. I don't remember who's who, so let's move on. Okay. Would you rather lose your preferred thumb or lose the index and middle finger of your preferred hand?
Thumb.
Yeah, I use my fingers all the time. What's my preferred thumb?
I would assume just my preferred hand. You know what I mean? Sure. As frustrating as that would be, at least I can still do things with my right hand, and I'll just have to utilize my left hand more often. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As I still would be able to use, if I kept my thumb and lost the other two fingers. You know what? Actually, that would be better. That actually would be better if I lost those two fingers.
Yeah, thumbs are very important.
They are very Okay, I'm gonna go with the two fingers.
Yeah, I mean.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like my fingers.
I like my fingers too.
That's why I initially said thumb. I like those two fingers specifically.
Uh-huh.
Like the other two, like you can chop off, but like I need these 3 fingers, because they work. That's how you write and such. But would you rather be eaten by a zombie or be burnt at the stake?
See, that was the thing when I was like, again, back to 7 years ago. I would have said burnt at the stake. At the same time, I hate the zombies so much.
See, if you'd ever watched The Walking Dead, being eaten by a zombie is a no good thing. Because you're alive when they rip open your chest and start pulling out your intestines and eating all that.
I'd be burnt at the stake. Yeah, I'll say that because that's more of a progressive pain, and then you lose all sense of pain, and then not to mention the fact that I hate zombies, but to have an intense pain, searing, non-ending. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least being burnt at the stake, like the pain increases.
Imagine like how weird it must feel to have your organs just move around.
Oh.
Sorry. Anyway, so
John, this is darker than that other episode.
So would you rather drink only water and alcohol for the rest of your life, or drink anything other than alcohol for the rest of your life?
Water and alcohol? And other than alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink alcohol in the first place. If the second said other than water and alcohol, then I would have chosen the water and alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like water's in both of them. Then I don't drink alcohol in the first place. So
yeah, the second one does not have water in it.
Yeah.
So I don't drink alcohol anyway, so I don't even need it.
Yeah.
Besides, I used to only live on Coke as a kid. Coke and orange juice. And grape juice.
Coke and orange juice. And grape juice. Oh, I like some grape juice.
Grape juice. Would you rather talk only in auto-tuned voice or talk in a stereotypical grandma voice?
Auto-tune. Because then that would probably mean that I could sing. And I would like to sing. So
I think it'd be funny if I sounded like a grandma. Just saying. So in between, there are some other news going on. Like Disney Plus is raising their prices.
Yes.
By December, to the typical $8 now to like 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. And then the ad
plus ads.
Ad thing will take on the current price.
I know, which sucks.
This is also let me toss this in. They're also raising Hulu's prices.
Oh, again?
That sucks. I mean, you cry about Disney Plus. If you're raising Hulu's prices, that's ridiculous.
Except Hulu always has deals going on where you can get cheap.
I mean, I guess that's fair, but the thing is, especially if they're intending to if they are going to phase out Hulu in the next few years.
Yeah.
I already have Hulu attached to my Spotify, so not that I'm crying about it, but that's less, if I had to pay for it, that's less of a reason for me to want to.
Yeah, Disney Plus, they don't have deals. So you can't.
The only deal they have is the Disney bundle.
Yeah.
Sorry, the bundle, whatever.
Yeah, they don't Disney have bundle. Get 50% off for a couple months. Oh, Hulu would let you do that for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that. In fact, Hulu did better by 60%, or something. So I was only paying $2 a month for a whole year.
Wow,
it was great. Have to wait for that deal. Anyway, would you rather play Pac-Man or play Space Invaders?
I don't know Space Invaders.
Yeah, Pac-Man is.
Is that the one ship at the bottom, and there's 20 above, and you go?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Space Invaders, actually.
Hmm.
Now the question is, am I in the game or am I playing the game?
You're playing the game.
I'm playing the game. Yeah, Space Invaders. I think I'm better at Space Invaders. Simply on that.
I would say better.
I think Pac-Man is more fun, but it's also more stressful.
I don't know. I get so stressed out at Space Invaders.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just good at dodging, and I can't dodge in Pac-Man.
Right, but Space Invaders, they get slowly closer to you.
Yeah, but
you don't like that.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in Africa for a year or live in Antarctica for a year?
Africa. Africa's huge.
I have it on my bucket list to be in Antarctica.
But it's not like you want to live in Antarctica.
Right, but I really want to go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, there's South Africa in Africa.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can get some civilization in Africa, if that's your main concern.
Yeah, because Antarctica, you freeze.
Yeah, I hate the cold. So yeah, Africa.
I think it's also cold enough to sterilize you. So I guess Africa.
Like even if South Africa didn't exist, I'm still going with Africa. I don't care. You can make do in Africa. I mean, maybe the people in Africa would disagree with me, but like even at that, like I could be a missionary for a year.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. You can tell how aged this thing is. This next question is, wait, this is so aged. If you could only choose one futuristic accessory to own, would you rather own Google Glass or Apple smartwatch?
Oh my gosh! Wow, it's been a while since I've heard about the Google Glass. I was thinking about that a few months ago. I'm like,
that doesn't exist anymore. I don't think. I mean, smartwatch is.
Smartwatches just seem.
It's just like a thing on your wrist that you can look at.
Like I guess for one who doesn't own one, they just seem dumb to me. So I guess if I had one, it'd have more meaning to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same as a phone, really.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd go Google Glass.
I don't like having things on my lenses.
I mean, I don't like it. Doesn't mean I have to wear it all the time.
Right, but even still, I don't like it.
It's like just for the novelty of it. Like, oh yeah, novelty.
It's a cool novel.
Yeah, I mean, like, I bet the watch would be more useful, but at the same time, I feel like I'd break it. Especially with my job. I can't believe how many coworkers have those watches. Like, even if it's just like 2 or 3 of them,
right?
They still have them. I'm just like, how? Like, you know.
I don't have a watch anymore, so.
I mean, I just buy a $10 watch. I mean, I know I'm one who bought an expensive watch, but if I didn't have a watch, I'd just go to Dollar Tree, just pick one up. Kind of thing.
In other news, the actor Giancarlo Esposito was in talks with Marvel to play a villain or a character. Who? We're speculating.
I've heard a couple different names I've never heard of before in the past couple weeks, and so I don't know who's who.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is this actor mainly known for his roles in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Okay.
He's also had very recent success in The Mandalorian and The Boys. He's a really good stern actor.
Okay, so let me, if I could pivot this, if that's okay. So we have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania next year
correct,
and they've recasted Ant-Man's daughter from Endgame. As far as I understand, the actress in Endgame wasn't necessarily a big name or anything. The actress who is in Quantumania is somewhat of a name. I don't necessarily know popularity levels, but she's definitely more popular. Definitely is in like stuff in comparison to the other actress.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? It seems like the MCU has been pivoting a lot more towards like no. Actually, I'm wrong because they've always kind of gone for big name actors, but at the same time, like the MCU can be a great place to like boost actors. You know what I mean? And again, we're just always hearing about these big name actors who are in talks, which is awesome, cool. Like I want to see Natalia Dyer into MCU. That'd be fun. But it's also like
Rogue. Yeah.
or Sue Storm, but definitely preferred as Rogue. But it's like I don't know. It would be cool if there was more of a pivot towards like no-name actors, I guess. Or it depends on the project, depends on the character.
It really depends on how good the actor is.
That's true, but like there's still like good actors who've been in stuff that's just neither them or their stuff are popular. You know what I mean?
It's also one thing to trust an actor who's established, so you know that they know the business, you know that they can perform this to what you want it to be,
but
versus a newer person who you don't know as well.
But they're also popular enough that their contractual obligations can pull them away from actually participating.
Right, so it depends.
So, like, if, for example, for the Thunderbolts, I feel like we have a greater chance to see the John Walker character because I don't necessarily think his actor is a big name, but might be harder to get Yelena's actor because she is a big name. You know what I mean?
Right. So for Thunderbolts, one of the things that I've been hearing is that the characters for the Thunderbolts, what an idea for that film is, you're introducing all the characters of that team because they're an anti-hero team throughout these new films and projects throughout this next couple of years. So we have John Walker in Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier. That too. So like they're introducing slowly these characters. I'm pretty sure Abomination could be part of that. So like we're seeing him in She-Hulk and Shang-Chi. So like we could see other characters slowly come in.
I'm also hearing that there's the possibility that they could introduce characters in Thunderbolts that we haven't seen yet.
Well, so they're going to do that too. But I think like a good portion is they're going to set up characters because it's like a Suicide Squad movie. Except Suicide Squad, they introduced everyone in that film. So here it's like you're doing it, but you know the characters. The way it should be. But for Giancarlo Esposito, I think I like the actor. He would do a really good villain. What would we have him be? I don't know.
Well, I feel like a lot of people are fan casting their Doctor Doom. I have no idea who he is, so I'm not saying he is or anything. But who would you want to be a Doctor Doom?
That's tough.
Because outside of like Kang, I feel like he's the next
I think Giancarlo could be a good one. But like I believe they've already casted their Doctor Doom.
Do you think we'll get a Doctor Doom tease in Wakanda Forever?
I mean, if we do, that's cool. Because like, I think that it'd be good for that villain you slowly tease and build up. To Fantastic Four. For Doctor Doom, I don't know who. It has to be someone good. Giancarlo would be a good one because he's a good character. Another thing people had been saying about Giancarlo would be Professor Xavier, which
is he the same guy people are also saying Magneto? I've been seeing those 3 names being floated for a certain actor, and it might be that one. But I can't remember.
I believe that's the case as well. He's been considered for many roles. I believe he's also saying he might be in Loki.
Interesting.
Like, that's just what he was saying. It's like, oh, we were in talks a couple years ago, and it was something to do with Loki. I don't know what it was. But no, something I've also learned is that they can't actually recast any of the X-Men characters that we've seen in the movies until 2025.
So I actually saw that about like 2 weeks ago. I don't know why I didn't bring that up. So that, which could be a significant reason why we are not getting any X-Men through Phase 6 unless they squeeze it in the last minute. But because that contractual period may also include the pre-production phases, not necessarily just release.
Right, so, which may just be, could just also mean like we're just gonna get multiverse characters for a little bit until we recast into our own universe.
Mm-hmm. I almost wish like in this information like that would be a little more public on Marvel's side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's enough people like, why didn't you announce X-Men? Unless they're going to make a statement like that at D23,
yeah.
Which I doubt they would.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they could just outright say it. This is the deal. This is why it's not happening. Instead of making fans like, oh my gosh, are we going to get an X-Men tease this movie? It's if it's not going to happen until Phase 7. You know what I mean?
Right. Anyway, this week we have She-Hulk coming.
Yes.
So that's fun, I guess.
I hope it's fun.
I mean, it means they get something to watch each week. Anyway,
yeah, I'll be watching each week.
Anyway, let's see. Let's see another few minutes. Would you rather have no tongue or have no teeth?
I would think teeth are more essential. You know what I mean?
I mean, you use teeth to chew things, but the tongue, you taste things with.
Right.
And you can't really speak.
The thing is, if I have to drink everything, that's a significant inconvenience. You know what I mean?
Sure.
In comparison to being able to chew, if I never knew how things tasted, the only thing that would drive me would be hunger. So I would just eat based on my hunger. And it's not like things would taste bad in the first place. There is no taste. So I would go with, I'd rather have no tongue.
I'd go with the teeth.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I like my tongue. All right.
I do too.
Yeah. Would you rather be Cinderella or be Ariel? Little Mermaid.
I saw Little Mermaid in a theater show of that recently. So run me through Cinderella again.
Cinderella is this person who lives with her ugly stepmothers who are rude, make her do all the chores until she one day meets a fairy godmother who lets her go to a magical ball with a magical dress. And the prince fancies her. But she runs away and leaves behind a glass slipper. So the prince goes around to every woman in the kingdom trying to see who fits the shoe. And it's Cinderella, and she lives in the palace.
And they live happily ever after together?
Yes.
So it's the thing is, at the end, both of them will have the same ending. So it's like, whose life experience would you rather experience?
Yeah, except Ariel, you go for a more of a struggle with Ursula.
Uh-huh.
Versus Cinderella, it's like...
But also, you do have a struggle with your stepmom.
Yeah, but like the more struggle with stepmom is she locks you in your room.
Okay, but you have to
Ariel, she's like, I'm threatening
years.
to kill your boyfriend and take over your father's kingdom.
Here's the thing. With Cinderella, you have to deal with that for like 20 years. With Ariel, that's like a span of a week. I hate the stress, so I'd rather go with Ariel, despite the higher stakes.
We'd probably die as Ariel, to be honest. Oh, this is gonna suck. If you were to be crippled, would you rather break an arm with a slightly painful infection, or break a leg?
What?
Would you rather break an arm, but have it also be infected, or break a leg?
I'm already crippled in the first place.
Hmm?
You're saying I'm already a cripple.
If you were to be crippled,
Well, if I were to be crippled.
yeah, would you rather break an arm or a leg?
A leg. I couldn't edit
Yeah.
if my arm was broken.
Yeah, the description also says the limb cannot be healed.
Yeah, like, because if my arm breaks, I can't do literally anything. Because
No wheelchairs.
My whole life revolves around my arms.
No
and
support.
My fingers.
No cast.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I can sit in my chair all day, wheelchair or no wheelchair.
Just
sitting. I can still edit.
You can't move.
Yeah.
Would you rather get shot or get stabbed?
But if the shot is quick, nice, and painful, painless. Oh, gosh.
Nice and painful.
Nice and painful.
Mm-hmm.
But you, John, you didn't answer the last few. Also.
Oh, I guess leg as well.
And then Ariel. Oh,
I think Cinderella. I said.
All right, shot or stabbed.
It depends on where I'm getting shot or stabbed. Like if I'm getting shot like in the chest, I could survive that. If I get stabbed, but let's assume it's like a headshot, and you're dying.
Yeah, it didn't specify, so I can choose anything.
So if I'm being dead, being shot in the head's the quickest way.
Yeah.
So let's get shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope, we don't know this. Okay. In a fantasy world, would you rather be a fairy who cannot fly or be a 10-foot tall dwarf?
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing. It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
I'm just saying, like, that's a genius question. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is genius.
Oh my gosh. Man, that's a hard one. Because either one, you'll get ridiculed.
Right, but 10-foot tall,
Like
dwarf.
To be a 10-foot tall dwarf, you're like 4 times the size of your friends. But like a fairy who can't fly, like you're out of a job. Like you're the outcast of all outcasts. But also, if you're a 10-foot tall dwarf, you're also quite the outcast. I'd rather be the 10-foot tall dwarf.
Yeah, because if you're a dwarf mingling with humans, you can just be a tall person. It's like imagine that character from Infinity War by Peter Dinklage. that'd be the dwarf. Yeah. Like a fairy, you're just stuck on the ground. You're tiny.
Oh my god,
you could be stepped on.
That'd be terrible.
There'd be cats. Okay. Here's a weird one. Would you rather have your fingers become hot dogs forever, or have your tears be relatively acidic?
Oh, frick. Did I mention I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once last week?
You did. So
there's actually one of the multiverses where all their fingers are hot dogs.
Well, then, it's fascinating. Glad you told me this.
So like in that universe, they were talented with their feet.
Your fingers can be eaten.
You.
And your crying will burn your skin.
Assuming it's that universe, then I could use my feet are already talented enough. So screw my fingers. I'll live in that universe.
How often do I cry? Let's be honest.
But even if you tear up, what if I punch you real hard, John?
I'd have to try very hard because I don't want to get hurt.
I feel like in trying you would cry. In trying not to cry, you would cry.
Oh, you don't know this one, but it's fun. It's a shame you don't play games. Okay. Would you rather have a month of intense, non-stop rain, or have a month of long, 100+ degree heat wave?
So this is related to games?
No.
Oh, you skipped that one?
Yeah.
All right, you said 1 month of rain or 1 month of heat wave?
Yeah.
I hate rain, but also heat exhaustion is real. How much is the heat wave again?
100+ degrees.
Honestly, that's been this past month. So yeah, I'll just do that.
See, yeah, that's that's the most thing. It's the most thing that we have. 100+ degree weather.
Honestly, like I saw like clips like a couple of days ago. Like there was a part in Seoul, South Korea that like flooded.
Oh,
so bad. I'm just like, yeah, I hate rain even more.
If I signed up to this website, I get to see the adult questions.
Oh. No. We could start a Patreon page and do special episodes.
Would you rather speak every language except the language of the country you're in, or speak only the language of the country you're in, but know the meaning of every single word in that language?
The hard thing is we're in America.
Yes. This question's not that difficult. Especially given the description says that when you leave a country and enter into another one, your knowledge will reset accordingly. So really, this is a no-brainer.
Why? Okay, what are you picking? Because it's not a no-brainer for me.
Speak only the language of the country you're in, but know the meaning of every single word in the language.
Wait. No, I just realized we both have similar life experience. We're choosing that one, right?
We're both missionary kids.
Yeah. Well,
so
I'm
why
not
would
a
I
missionary
speak
kid,
every
but...
language except the language of the country I'm in?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah. I mean, I've lived that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
So speaking the only language your country you're in it's the most logistical one, because speaking the other one, because if you move, you're not going to know the language you're in, so it's pointless.
Like seriously, that would be so cool. You know, you just like I could just know Korean as soon as I'm in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
The frick, that'd be so cool.
But like the other one would work if you're working in the UN with communicating with everyone else.
Yeah, that's actually what I was also almost thinking. Is like, you know, to be able, because like, you know, to be bilingual or multilingual is like there's business for you as a person. But except the country you're in, that makes it almost pointless.
It is. So like the UN is like common ground. So you're just talking with the other languages.
Even so, it's like you're in New York or in Switzerland. So if I'm in Switzerland, yes. But if I'm in New York,
Even in New York,
no.
if you're just not talking to Americans.
Here's the issue with the UN. They only speak in 6 languages. They have a rule of you can only speak in 6 languages.
Well, then I can learn 5. You know?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Maybe.
Problem solved.
No. I would like to know the language of the country I'm in. That'd be really, really cool.
Okay. Would you rather speak only in Ebonics or understand no slang whatsoever?
What's Ebonics?
I think that's slang.
Why can't they just say slang?
Ebonics refers to ebony, I think. So American Black English.
I've never heard it referred to as Ebonics before. They've been using some other word lately for it.
Yeah, I believe they're changing that word, but like I'm not gonna say that. Probably understand no slang whatsoever. Just just be a grandparent.
Yeah, I guess because if we're being honest, the slang eventually gets incorporated into a language where it's no longer slang. You know what I mean?
See, right. So like, what's the definition for this? Like, what do we categorize as slang? The language that we currently have, or the original English language from thousands of years ago? Because like right now, everything we speak is slang.
Yeah. So I mean, if we're going by that logic, then I would like to be up to date. But if it's not by that logic, I think I'm doing fine as is, and then that slang will be incorporated into the normal language eventually.
Okay. Would you rather be an Olympic tennis player or be an Olympic table tennis player?
Table tennis.
Ping pong, yeah.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
I need to watch that movie.
Oh, yeah. It's a fun movie. Would you rather live in a giant peach or live in a giant shoe?
What story is based out of a giant peach that this is referring to?
James of the Giant Peach is this kid who's orphan who lives with these people who've taken him in. One day he's all sad. He wishes to be away, so he wakes up the next morning and there's a giant peach. So he eats of the peach because he's starving. And the peach rolls away into the ocean, but inside the peach is also a bunch of different insects that have mutated to like friendly people insects. So he lives in the peach in the ocean with his insect friends until they crash in New York, and he becomes famous for being the kid in the peach and lives happily in a big house.
I have mixed feelings on that. But then eventually I live in New York happily ever after. Just like Cinderella.
Just like Cinderella. But it's a peach, so it'll be sticky, and I assume fruit rots over time.
But if we get to New York soon enough.
This takes like weeks.
6 weeks.
Also in the ocean, you're being chased by a giant mechanical shark.
Here's the thing. If I live in a shoe, I live in that shoe forever.
And you're haunted by a giant rhino cloud.
And that shoe will smell.
Will it though?
Shoe will rot.
Will it though?
Deal with mice all the time.
It's just a shoe.
It's more than just a shoe.
A shoe is longer lasting.
The peach won't be long lasting, so that means there's a potential for a better life afterwards.
I mean, you can eat the peach.
Ooh, I could eat the peach.
But you can live in your shoe for a long time.
I'm gonna go with the peach because I'm like that.
Peach. Would you rather have Pokemon be real or superheroes exist?
I don't know much about Pokemon in terms of the context of their existence in the everyday world.
Mm-hmm.
But after watching Marvel, no superheroes.
Yeah, because with superheroes, you need the villains.
Yes.
Pokemon, you just have wild animals that you trap and train.
Yeah. Like, that seems not so harmful.
It's not so harmful, except you have to hurt the animals before you train them.
Really? Well, I don't have to train them in the first place.
Game mechanics. Okay, so would you rather be electrocuted every time you swear, or have all profanity censored on your television?
As it stands right now, I'd rather be electrocuted. But once I have kids, I want it censored.
I think the censored would be really helpful for kids.
Yes.
So I think I'd choose that.
But right now,
thinking long term, that'd be the option to choose.
Yeah, long term that would be the option, but in the short term, I'd rather be electrocuted because I guess
even then, like, I'm not being hurt if my show has a bleep in it. Versus, I get shocked.
I guess just for me, I just try not to cuss in the first place, and I don't cuss that often.
So,
yeah,
really, it's a quick lesson.
Like, yeah, I'll go with it. That's my short-term, long-term answer.
All right, here's a fun one. Would you rather fight 100 third graders one at a time, or fight 50 third graders at the same time? No weapons, by the way. None of them have weapons.
Even if it's just 25 third graders at once, they're vicious.
I know.
So I'll take the one at a time. You could just knock them out one by one. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, that would be... Still, you're fighting children.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Cool.
This was a question asked at work a while ago.
Yeah.
And we talked about it for a long time this week.
I assume we did.
How many chickens would it take to successfully attack a bear?
Define successfully attack a bear. Because really all you need is one.
Really?
To attack a bear.
So what I mean successfully, let's kill the bear.
A fight with a bear. That should be your choosing word.
Win the fight with a bear. Yeah.
Oh, I'd say honestly, you like modified chickens, like you give them little, for like cockfights, you just give them razor blades on their talons. I'd say about 50. But I think normal ones, you'd probably say 100.
Okay. I don't remember what the conclusion was at work, or the non-conclusion, because they fought over that.
But my conclusion is chickens aren't very hostile creatures. To the point of death. They'll peck at you.
Right. That's why you would think about, how many chickens would be needed.
Oh, no.
All right. There's this would you rather I asked at work. And I have to think how to adjust this for you. So I'm going to do my best. Okay.
Right.
Would you rather be forced to listen to a metalcore song every day, or never ever be able to listen to a soundtrack again?
You say that again.
be forced to listen to a metalcore song every day, just one, or you never ever be able to listen to soundtracks?
I mean, I'd listen to a metalcore song.
Oh, you would? Okay.
I mean, it's like, I probably do anyways, like, if they play it in shows and movies. Sure, yeah, I could digest it that way. Even though it's just one song, yeah, I can listen to it.
Okay. Really curious. Yeah, I was actually, I thought some people would hate metal so much that they would rather just give up their favorite genre.
I couldn't really do that. I love soundtracks too much. Like, when I watch a movie and there'd be no music, it'd be awful.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you rather dress only in styles famous 15 years ago, or dress only in what you did when you were 15?
When I was 15.
See, I still dress the way I did when I was 15.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
The only thing I've added is like the button-up shirt. I probably wore shorts during that time, which I don't really wear anymore, but I still do the t-shirt pants thing. Like, It's hard to grow out of that.
It's like dress styles from 15 years ago. I mean, it was fine, I guess.
I feel like most people think of it as like cringe, and
Right.
I don't know what they dressed like back then, but
So,
I don't necessarily want to be part of that.
From the perspective of when this thing was asked, they would be asking for questions of the 90s. Clothing of the 90s.
But also, I'm
I'd
thinking
wear
of this, whether it's the 90s or today, my answer still stands as such.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm good with this website for now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do you have any question for me?
Would you rather be able to graduate college now or tomorrow?
So define graduate college now, like right now?
Yeah, you're done. You got your degree. You're good.
Boy.
Or would you like to just morb?
I would morb.
That's a good choice.
Morb.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that means. I'd morb.
Do you have one for me?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, then I have to think of another for you.
You'd have to, or we could talk about other things in life.
Oh, are there other things in life?
Like 10 years ago, I moved to Ecuador.
Oh, congratulations, John. Moving on.
Yeah, I did.
Did you want to talk about that?
I don't know.
All right, let me think of another thing. Would you rather go to sleep now, or would you rather morb?
Probably morb.
I like you, John.
I wonder why. I'm easy to talk to. You know, I can morb.
Would you rather morb or would you rather clobber?
Oh. See, now you're playing dirty.
Oh, am I?
Because you know it's clobbering time.
Is it? I think clobbering time was like still 20 years ago.
Nah, man, it's clobbering time.
Okay, so would you rather clobber or would you rather morph?
It's morphin' time. Tyrannosaur. Pterodactyl. Saber-toothed tiger.
So is it morphin time for you?
I guess it's morphin time.
Okay, so would you rather morph, or would you rather Velocipaster?
Gosh, morph.
See,
you missed the question there. The question is not would you rather morph, it's would you rather morph or would you rather morb?
I was thinking about that, but you choose morph.
But like you have to go back full circle because clobbering versus morb is different than morph versus.
Here's the thing: if you chose clobbering, then I would have asked morph versus morb. Like I was legitimately thinking about that, but I'm like, no, he's going to say morph. So what's the point of asking now?
What's the point of asking?
What's the point? Would you rather? Let me. Would you rather have to own everything on DVD, or only ever be able to watch anything in theaters? That's a decent one.
That's a decent one. So only watch everything in DVD or only watch everything in theater?
Well, essentially, yeah. So like you have to own the DVD. You have to buy the DVD essentially, right? So at either rate, you're still buying, right?
So I think I'd buy the DVD because long term I'm saving money.
Yes.
Because I can rewatch this movie over and over again. Versus going to the theater, I have to pay for the film. Unless there's a dollar theater, even still, you're adding that up each time you watch it.
Yeah, not to mention gas and popcorn.
Oh, you have to have popcorn.
Okay, now
that's the expense.
Would you rather do the theater thing, or have to buy all your movies in 4K Ultra?
Ooh.
Because now I'm bumping up the price on them DVDs.
How much is 4K Ultra?
The new ones are running like at 35 or something. I bet they go down eventually, but it seems like a lot of them are running at like 35. So around that range.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to do a quick search?
I think I'd still do the 4K Ultra.
Okay. And then even on that, like you can still create your own personal theater space.
You can.
Yeah.
So it's still like a matter of like long-term investment. But then you have to start picking and choosing what do I want to buy.
Right.
Like what film do I think would I like?
I mean, I guess in the long run you can sell the movies you didn't like.
That I guess that's an option, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm making a
not necessarily an investment, but with the theater you can't refund your ticket, but if you buy a 4K Ultra movie that you didn't like, you can still sell it off for at least half and buy another one.
I can make a little bit of
return.
A little bit of return for my investment. That would be the better choice, yeah.
Yeah. I want to try to think of a question as relates to streaming.
Yeah, but like I haven't really bought DVDs in a while.
I know, but like there's a world out there where there's no streaming.
I know. Man. DVDs, I like DVDs, but again, with streaming, it's just so convenient.
It is.
Which is why, like, when everything next year is $10 to stream, ad free, you start thinking about the new DVDs again. Except for HBO Max, which would be $20. Warner, sorry, use the
whatever they're gonna call it. It'll be interesting to see if we're gonna get less services. You know what I mean?
We're gonna get more.
You think we're gonna get more?
We're gonna get more. I'm pretty sure. Because one thing I've been hearing is that like other studios are paying attention to Disney Plus's end of the quarter reports to like find out whether or not this would be a good investment to do. Which if that happens, it's gonna suck because then everybody's gonna want a service.
Right. Okay, so this is not a direct would you rather, but like with music, most of the streaming platforms have the same content. There's some variations, right? Some people pull their stuff off. Spotify, Apple Music doesn't have every single thing that Spotify has. You know what I mean? So there's some variations. Essentially, it's just like which UI do you essentially prefer? Which features do you prefer? Would you prefer it be like that for like movies with the occasional exclusive per service?
Can you define what you mean?
Like what if Netflix and Hulu had the same content? It's just like,
Okay.
I prefer Netflix's layout.
I do prefer Netflix's UI versus Hulu, for sure. But I think that out of all the streaming services, I prefer HBO Max's UI the most. Because they're the less cluttered than Disney Plus. I like Disney Plus's like hubs being on the top. HBO Max's hubs are on the bottom. Or on like the sidebar. So I would move that up. But they're less cluttered.
I feel like on my Roku, the HBO Max is a little laggy. Just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. It is like, actually.
Not to say that Disney Plus isn't, but Disney Plus is faster.
Right, HBO Max is a little laggy, but I prefer the look of it. Okay. I prefer the way it works.
The color scheme is pretty nice.
What I do like about HBO Max, though, that no other service does as well, is that HBO Max has a tab where you can see what is leaving at the end of the month and what just arrived on that day. Whereas Disney Plus, the only place where you can see that is on their little tab up there. That's not always 100%. Netflix is unreliable at all. So is Hulu's. So.
Yeah. So I guess with like these services, like, what are some features you do like, don't like?
So with Disney Plus, we've talked about this a whole lot, but we don't like how it's all cluttered when you go into the different sections. So on Marvel,
there's a lot of repetition with.
There's a lot of repetition. It's all the same, and it's a lot of stuff that's like old. I get it when they're trying to promote a new show, but when you're like 10 shows behind, it's still there.
Especially if I don't know if we still do, but there still being like a Black Widow section or whatever. It's like that was so last year.
Right. Yeah. So like stuff like that. Even Star Wars a bit. They have a little bit too much unnecessary tabs as well.
At least with Star Wars, they're expanding into new territory, so hopefully it won't be that big of a deal with like Marvel.
Right. What do I not like about Netflix? What I don't like about Netflix is that when you open to your homepage, it automatically starts playing a trailer for the content. Which I get, I understand it, but like the very top one is the one I don't like the most, the dash bar, the scrolling one. I don't want that to be playing, because then I had to scroll down to make it stop, which is like so lame.
And like continue scrolling, I guess.
Right, because I prefer to like hover over the content to listen to it versus it just automatically playing.
Well, even I think there's this one time when I went to like a certain page, and I just went to it to get the information. I think it even just started playing the episode. Like
it did. It does that on Roku specifically.
I hate that.
It does that with a lot of things. Actually, no, specifically on PC, it does that. You have to be very careful where you click. That's a few things I don't like about Netflix. But the overall, the way Netflix runs, it's like the best. Because it's been around the longest. It
feels sleek and smooth.
It's sleek and smooth. Works super nicely. It's not distracting. Especially like the skip intro bar. But Netflix doesn't have that option for mobile.
Interesting.
At least on Android mobile.
Or is your
Kindle?
Oh wait, you have an iPhone.
I have a Kindle. I don't have Netflix on my iPhone.
Copy.
Yeah, but that's
what. So with the Disney Plus that you do, like, you like the HUDs at the top.
I do like it that it's at the top, so that if I want to go there, I can do it. What I don't like about Disney Plus is that if I go and click on a title, and in its suggest box, I go click on a different title, suggested a different title. If I want to go back to like the main hub, I have to go back through each title. There's no button to go to the main hub.
Okay.
On Roku specifically. So it sucks when that happens. Because you can go down a rabbit hole and you're like, click.
Kind of wish there was just more like a straight back to home button.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I believe even HBO Max has a sidebar that you can go to.
Yeah, I guess the Disney Plus sidebar is only on the homepage essentially.
Yeah. And like, what's on their sidebar?
Originals.
Search. Series.
I guess categories. Like even the search being accessible, regardless of Patreon, would be nice.
Oh yeah, no. Disney
but honestly, like
have a sidebar, but they have like the top bar.
Honestly, like the Disney Plus, I never use this. Rarely use the search on Disney Plus. Like that doesn't feel accessible.
No, but if I click on search, you get to explore all the collections.
Which I think the collections are kind of cool.
They are cool, especially if you want to look at animation for Marvel. Like that's the easiest way to find that.
Yeah. So get rid of your sections on the hubs. Just use those.
Yeah.
And especially with like the characters, for example, like Hulk, they have a new Hulk collection because of She-Hulk. And it's like I don't necessarily want a Hulk section in my Marvel tab. I just give me like a section with like all the collections, and then there I can go see all my Hulk content. Which, by the way, so what was interesting in that the Marvel's Legends, the little series that they do where they promote their upcoming shows by flashbacking, essentially.
Right.
Which I personally enjoy. It's like a 6-minute theatrical trailer, it feels like, of previously released content. Just recapping that. I just really like the editing.
I don't really care for those.
The Hulk one, you might say unsurprisingly, but does not feature anything from the Incredible Hulk. However,
for reasons,
in a previous one, they did use footage from the Incredible Hulk. So here's the thing: like, if that didn't happen, then I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But because they have used footage from the Incredible Hulk before in that series, I was like, so why didn't you this time?
I'm sure there's a legal reason.
Why is it if it was a legal reason, I don't think it would have been used in the first place. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the same legal reason why they can't get the streaming service for the Incredible Hulk, because Universal owns that specific one. It's also because they can't make a movie about Hulk because Paramount owns the full solo Hulk movie rights. Sorry, Universal does. It could also just be they don't want to show Edward Norton's anything related to that.
I mean, like, if that was the case, yeah, like, I would understand, but my point is they've used that footage.
I know.
Even if it was briefly, and it was so brief that they didn't even have to use it.
Right.
But they used it before. And that's what's confusing.
Which footage was it?
I would have to really go back and look. I can't remember off the top of my head. We've had a few different episodes.
But would you know for what they were advertising?
I will look.
Right, because there's not that many characters you can advertise for. Probably Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so that makes the most sense.
And that was used for what?
Tony Stark.
No. What If, I think?
Yes.
Lame. I don't know why they did Legends episodes for What If. Especially if they're not using What If, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, anyway, so we're almost at 2 hours now.
Nice.
So we should probably start wrapping things up.
Who knew we would have actually hit 2 hours?
We started thinking it's like, oh, we're only going to do like 15 minutes and run out of things to talk about. No, Would You Rather saved us.
It really did.
Yeah. Thank you, Would You Rather.
Yeah, thank you, Would You Rather.
All right. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.